What's up? This is Elia Einhorn. Welcome to the Talkhouse podcast. Today I'm joined by
Nick Dawson, editor-in-chief of Talkhouse Film.
Nick and listeners, happiest of New Year's. Welcome to 2018.
It's going to be a good year, he said with conviction.
Well, it is going to be a good show. I can say that with honest conviction.
Yeah, the show's good.
We have
the year, I don't know.
A year, who knows. On today's episode, recorded live at the flagship Sonos store in Soho, Manhattan, two amazing comedians and Daily Show alumni, Jason Jones and Aasif Mandvi.
Yeah, these guys, they've been friends for God knows how long, workmates, buddies. I'm sure they go and have a Russian bath together from time to time. And the funny thing is, they say that at the start of the conversation, like they actually hadn't ever had a particularly long conversation outside of a work setting. So
which is so funny because they are friends and also they sort of have this amazing chemistry.
Jason is just, I mean, it's funny because like you and I were hanging out with him beforehand and he was kind of chill. And then he got in the room at Sonos and he
turned
was
it on. He turned it on.
He was on. And this is an on conversation.
It really is. It really is. And the guy's taken a lot.
They do. For a start, I think we just need to like not bury the lead here, which is that over the course of this conversation, Jason Jones solves a lot of things.
Pretty much everything in life.
Not quite, but close. You know,
Jason Jones is the fixer.
Yeah, and as he says, there might be a little bit of brownsplaining in there, but he does it in a very self-aware way. He is woke AF, or as woke as you would expect Samantha Bee's husband of 16 years to be.
True. And accordingly, they take on some of the big issues here, Nick.
One of the big topics of conversation is racism through the prism of this new documentary, The Problem with Apu, which is about the portrayal of Apu in The Simpsons and how that stereotype became the way that Indian Americans are defined.
And Aasif actually made an appearance in this documentary.
He did, as do a number of prominent Indian American actors and comedians. And it's funny because that led into this very fascinating discussion of the progression of his participation in this movie, The Internship, where he ended up with a very Indian accent. And that story is like both hilarious and very informative. So look out for that one.
Stay tuned, listeners. The guys also hit on a recurring theme in our podcasts, social media.
Yeah, and sort of how it is important to people in the entertainment industry in a way that maybe they wouldn't like.
Some big pluses, some huge minuses.
Yeah. And also exercise regimes.
Exercise regimes. These are fit comedians.
They're fit comedians. They want to have their beer or their falafels and gyros, and so they have to put in the minutes exercising.
We also hear about what they've been up to very recently.
Yeah, of course, Jason has season 3 of his new show, The Detour.
Shouts.
January 23rd, TBS. And Aasif, you can catch him on Shut Eye on Hulu, which they're gonna talk about that stuff.
Let them talk about it. And Nick, let them also talk about
many things,
including Aasif's plans to be the first Indian action star,
the unaired moment of Jason getting his balls out on camera for The Daily Show,
Patrick Wilson running up the Empire State Building,
Aasif's trepidation about having kids, despite his, as he says, very enthusiastic sperm,
and listeners, as you'll hear in just a moment, their worst fashion choices.
You're about to hear it.
Should we roll the tape?
Let's roll the tape.
Let's do it.
All right. Here we are. I've never felt so much pressure to have a conversation.
You should feel pressure.
I know.
There's a lot of people listening.
I know that all my whole family's listening to this, so it's important.
That's the most pressure.
Yeah.
Your family. My dad's deaf, so I have no pressure.
You have no pressure.
He can't hear it.
Right.
He's listening, but he can't hear it.
Right, so he can't judge you.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing. You and I worked together for years.
We did.
But this might be the longest conversation we've ever had.
It's already the longest. What are we in?
I think it was.
What are we, 30 seconds
30
in?
seconds ago, it became the longest conversation we've ever had.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever really had, we worked together, so it was a lot of...
What are you talking about? You would saunter into my office.
I would have conversations with you, but not
in
like...
your stupid sandals.
In my sandals.
I just hear you swooshing along the office floor. I'm like, oh, here comes Aasif.
Really? Was that... what? No, I remember... I remember when I tried out those 5-finger shoes for a day.
I remember them well.
For a day.
We ridiculed you. We all ridiculed you.
But I thought at the time it was one of those bad decisions, those bad fashion decisions in life.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a few of those. Come on, admit it. What is your worst fashion decision?
An open back vest.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, how does that even work?
It's like a crisscross at the top, but it's all open in the back. It's just awful. Awful.
When did you wear that?
Like right after college, I bought it. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
No, it's not cool. There's nothing cool about
I
that.
can't. It's hard for me to even picture
An open back vest.
that. Because do you?
It would look like a vest in the front.
Yeah.
And it was all open in the back.
I feel, and I don't know this for a fact. I've not verified this. You might have a hairy back.
I don't actually.
You don't?
No.
Oh, so then that's all right. That you know. I mean, this
wore
is
a shirt underneath it.
Oh, see, I was imagining.
What's the skin?
I was imagining it was
No.
just like you.
Was I going to S&M clubs? No.
That's how I pictured it, for some reason.
It
I
was
don't
just
know.
bad fashion.
Wait, it's almost worse to wear a shirt under
I
something
know.
like that.
That's
Like,
what you said. What was my worst fashion choice? I said
Yeah,
it was an open back vest.
It would have been bad just to wear it without a shirt, but then now with a shirt, I see like, oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, and then but I didn't give up on it. Because it was a black vest, so I wore black shirts.
Right, and then you're like, this will be cool, but
Yeah.
then you probably can't see the
Can't
fact
see the
that
open
it's
back. Yeah.
open back, so
Yes.
it
But then
defeats the purpose.
people would look at it close and went, "Is that an open back?" Terrible.
Fashion.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Tell me about your life. You got married.
I got married.
Congratulations.
Look at that.
Congratulations.
No one thought that was going to happen.
That's a thin ring for a man.
You know, it's. Is it?
It is
What
a
is
little
yours
thin.
like?
I don't
You
wear
even
mine.
have one.
I don't wear mine.
Yeah, well.
I haven't. You know what? I wore mine the first day I got married,
And then you took it off?
and I was like, "This
And you're
doesn't
I'm not
feel
wearing
good."
this.
Yeah. So I took it off, and I haven't worn it since.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think
But
I
mine's
get
much thicker than that.
I don't think I could get away with that.
Why?
I
does
just
it
think
matter?
I just think my wife would be like, why not wearing the ring?
Well, I did it
wrong?
early. I set a precedent. So.
Oh, you did. You just were like, I'm
Yeah.
not. That's
you
not
can't
my
take it
thing.
off now. You've been, what, 3 months, 4
Yeah,
months?
yeah, no.
You can't take it off now.
I
I took it off
got
day
it-
one.
Yes, I should have. Yeah, but I, you know what? I thought it was gonna impede me in some way. I thought it was gonna be like annoying, but actually, it's not. I like
Well,
the fact that it's.
It impedes your ability to pick up women.
Well, that is true.
Although sometimes not. It enhances that ability.
Well,
And ladies, you know who you are.
you know, yes, and in the culture that we're in right now, let's have that conversation.
No, let's, I don't think we should have that conversation. But it looks a little thin. Just
I like it. I feel like it's.
if you upgrade, go a little thicker. That's all.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
As a guy who knows fashion,
Wow. Yeah. No, I know. If you upgrade, go backless. Always go backless.
backless vests, people.
You've been married a long time.
I have, yeah. 2001 we got married. Wow. Yep.
And how many kids do you have now?
We have 19.
So it's
And
you,
counting.
you and Gaffigan are
Yeah.
like may have the most
Yes.
kids of any two people.
We have 3.
3 children.
Yep.
And the oldest is now.
She's 11. She's turning 12 soon, very
Wow.
soon. Yeah.
You got 3 kids in the house,
In the apartment, yes.
and both in the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and both of you are working
We are.
and shooting, and
Filming.
And are your kids interested in getting into this business?
You know, I gave them all parts. I gave my son a part in this is the show that I'm working on called The Detour.
I've heard of it.
It's the number one show in cable.
It is?
Yeah, comedy.
Is that right?
Number one show, comedy show.
Okay.
But whatever. I'm not here to promote that.
You-
Even though
you
season
might
3 is
as
coming
well.
on very suspiciously upcoming.
When is it
in
coming on?
January. January 23rd.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
So let's get that
So
plug
let's
out of
just
the way.
plug that right
January
now.
23rd. TBS.
January 23rd,
Tuesday nights.
Tuesday nights on
All new
TBS,
season.
The Detour.
The Detour. And if you haven't caught up, Hulu, it's playing first and second season.
First and second season.
As of December 23rd.
Right. And you're
Over
very
Christmas.
funny. You're very funny on it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Talking of Hulu, I'll plug my show.
Talking to Vulu.
Hulu.
Oh, Hulu. Sorry.
Hulu. Talking of Vulu,
Okay.
whoever she is.
She sounds sexy. I'm just picturing her in a backless vest.
I think I'm just always going to picture you in a backless vest. now.
Yeah.
Talking to Hulu,
Yes.
I got a show coming out on Hulu
Oh.
December 6th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Called
No-
Shut Eye.
Shut Eye.
Shut Eye.
Is this a Hulu original?
It's a Hulu original.
Okay.
It's about psychics and mystics, and
Oh.
it's a
Created by you or no?
no. It's
Okay.
it's
You're acting in it.
I'm acting in it. It's a show starring Jeffrey Donovan
Okay.
and
From
Burn
Notice.
Burn Notice.
Got it.
That guy.
the Burn Notice guy.
Yeah.
What is Burn Notice?
What is it? I don't know.
I don't know. It was a great sketch.
I never actually watched Burn Notice.
No one did. but everyone knows the name.
It is one of those shows.
Did you see that SNL sketch? It was great. It was a game
No.
show. It was
Was
a
that a
game show.
sketch?
Yeah, it was a game show called "What Is Burn Notice?"
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Really?
And they're like, ugh.
It was a show.
I know it's a show. They're like, yes,
Yeah.
and that was just the question every time. What is burn notice?
Right.
I think it's on USA. Could be FX. I'm not sure. I've seen a poster, and there's fire. I know there's got to be something about fire.
Oh boy, there's a lot of explosions. I remember a lot of explosions
Yeah.
and things, and it was
I think wasn't Bruce Campbell on it?
maybe.
Yeah, the
Let's say
great
yes.
Bruce Campbell. I think he was.
Let's say maybe.
He might have been on. He could have also been on Suits. I don't know. They all seem the same to me.
Yeah. So
Hulu show started-
Anyway, that's coming out December 6th.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So watch it and let me know what you think. Or don't let me know what you think. Actually, that's the worst
You don't
idea.
wanna know.
Let me know what you
You don't
think.
wanna know.
People tweeting at
Do
me.
you still follow the Twitter? Are you still on the Twitter?
I still am on the Twitter.
Wow.
I'm actually trying to get. I feel like I've plateaued, and I'm like at the same number now for a long time,
Right.
and I keep trying to write racist, provocative things to get
and
more.
it's not
Not helping me.
not helping you. That's too bad.
I know it just teeters right on there. It gets so I think I may hire a social media strategist. That's what I hear I need.
Okay. Let's dig into that. You're an actor. You also create your own
Yeah.
stuff. Why do you care about social media?
Well, I don't really. On a personal level, I couldn't give a shit.
Okay.
But I hear that this is how now studios, executives, networks are making decisions.
Based on how many Twitter
Based
followers or
on Twitter.
Instagram
I mean, I
followers you
feel
have.
like, there was one particular project, I won't say the name of it, where I feel like I lost out. This is stupid. It's like I lost out like a billing level
because you were not big enough.
with two of all people. What's his name from Star Trek? The old Asian guy.
The old Asian guy.
The original.
the
Star
original
Trek.
guy. Oh, you're talking about George Takei?
George Takei. I lost out a billing to like.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's bigger than you.
No, I know, but it was.
You should be lower than George
No,
Takei.
no, but what I'm
Or
saying is
Takei.
like in
Takei.
terms of like what they said to me.
Yeah.
Was they were like he has more Twitter followers than you do.
But it's also George Takei's a bigger star than
No,
you.
he
and-
is.
and
But I'm
he
saying
should
that like
be billed
if they
higher.
had just said to me like he's a bigger star, like he's gonna. But they didn't say that. They was like his social media status is more than. So then I was like, well, shit, I need to get a.
Right.
How are you doing on the Twitter?
I'm not on it.
You don't on it?
I kind of gave up on it.
Your wife's on it.
She is. Nah, I mean, her show is on it.
Right. Does Sam actually tweet or does she have people doing it?
Yeah, she's got time to tweet.
If you're
she runs a
good
TV
at
show,
it,
right?
No, I know, but if you're good at it, you just do it on your phone.
She does not personally tweet.
Right.
There is a team of tweeters and
Of tweeters on her show.
digital social media
that
people.
tweet on behalf of the show.
Correct. I believe she approves them. She doesn't necessarily use
Right.
her fingers to type them into the keyboard.
I love that you're talking keyboard. That shows me how old you are.
That is true. That is
You're
true.
like typing
But I
into a
see-
keyboard.
No. You can't throw
because
that
you
on
do
me.
it on
No.
the phone. People do it on the phone.
Not at an office. There's still computers at an office,
I know,
and there
but
are
like,
keyboards.
I know, but people when
on
they
a
when
sorry,
they're
laptop. Is that better than?
I don't know, a notebook, MacBook, notebook. That's
Sure.
what. Millennials.
So that's easy. Don't make fun of them.
I'm not. I envy them.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Why?
Not at all. They got it tough.
What?
I think we should all ease up on millennials.
You think,
I do.
you think
I
we've been
honestly
too
do.
rough on millennials?
I think there's been too many easy jokes at their expense.
Like what?
That they're
Share
all
some
that
with
they're
me
all
so I can
they're
use
all
them.
narcissists. They're all
Okay, but that's true.
I don't know. I mean, that's as big a generalization as there
What
are
I
out there
find,
right
no,
now.
you're right. I think there is a lot of people sort of piling up on millennials. But I will say one thing: there seems to be, and I don't know all millennials. I only know the few
Oh,
that
you
I
don't?
know.
Oh, you
Right.
don't?
I don't know all of them.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of them out there who I've never come across.
Yeah.
And they don't know me. But of the ones that I have met,
You're gonna be
and
a
I
great
know-
politician someday. Now, I don't know every person in America.
But here's the thing: I know the
Yes.
ones I know, and
Sure, great.
and there seems to be an obsession with sort of happiness. Do you find this? I hear a lot about this.
About their own happiness and
Like just this idea of being happy, this idea of happiness. You know, we all, there's a sort of a self-actualization. Get up every morning and do your pull-ups and have your bulletproof coffee and.
That sounds pretty good. That's exactly what I do every morning. I do my pull-ups.
Actually, I do the same thing. But
how many pull-ups can you do?
I'm not good with pull-ups. I do push-ups.
What? No, you just said that's exactly what I do.
No, so I'm saying Dave Asprey does pull-ups and those guys, but I don't do pull-ups. I do push-ups and I try to walk on the treadmill.
You don't. Oh, that's awful. That's an awful
but I walk
workout.
on an incline. I walk on an incline.
So what?
I do on an incline.
Just go outside for a walk.
New York? Come on.
Beautiful city.
No.
Parks everywhere.
No.
Have you heard of this big one in the middle?
What? I've never
Beautiful
heard of it.
walk.
Never heard of it.
Park on the west side, lovely walk.
Yeah.
There's hills there too.
I have a gym in my building now, which makes it very easy. So it's nice.
And you go there?
I just go downstairs.
Right.
Yeah, and I just put the treadmill on like maximum incline and walk on it. That's. Are you a workout guy? Do you work out?
I get to the gym once or twice a week.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. And I jog too.
Yeah.
Try to. I try to. Anytime here honestly, I jog and work out so that I can drink occasionally.
And so you
like
can
I feel
eat,
fine drinking
right.
a beer because I went for a jog this morning.
Exactly.
I'm equal.
I feel like
I'm not gaining any weight, probably not, because I'm drinking calories.
Right. I do the
burn
same
some.
thing so I can eat falafels every night.
Right.
And gyros. That's like what I.
That's your diet? Falafels and gyros?
Falafels and gyros. This
Right.
is why I go and walk on the incline in the morning.
Right.
So then at night I can
To eat
justify
falafel
like
and-
I'm just at a gyro.
So your go-to is fatty foods over liquid alcohol.
Yeah, I'm not a beer drinking guy. I'm sweets, fats, salts, meats, breads.
You know what? You might as well throw some Miller Lite on there.
I know I should,
you're
right? I
already,
just might as well. It's like
your
I don't know
heart
why.
is already screaming.
I don't know why I do that.
Why
Yeah.
almost have some alcoholic euphoria on top of that?
I did this little thing at City Center recently called Brigadoon.
That's that play.
The
Or a
musical, the
Yeah.
old time musical.
You did a musical?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't sing. I was like the non-singing, non-dancing funny guy in the musical.
You were the comic relief.
I was the comic
of
relief
Brigadoon.
Of Brigadoon.
Got it.
But it was anyway, lovely production, whatever. But I worked with a guy named Patrick Wilson. Do you know him?
I met Patrick. I did him 2 days on a movie that he did, and then I also sat next to him at a premiere and talked to him. So
Right.
briefly.
So Patrick and I worked together many years ago
Okay.
on another musical. The only other time I've ever been in a musical, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Which was on Broadway, like before I did The Daily Show. It was like 2002.
Sure.
Anyway, Patrick, he's one of those people where I look at him and I'm just like, it's ridiculous. His body is like just sculpted. Like
Is it?
it's like, yeah, he's got a crazy body and he's like, he sings like incredibly well and he's very handsome and it's just annoying. Like you look at him and you're just, John Oliver once said to me that when he saw George Clooney that he felt like all the things on his face were in the wrong place after he looked at Clooney's face.
Right.
You know what I mean? That
Right.
And I feel like Patrick was looking at him like this guy's handsome, sings, but he does this thing. I said, "What do you do with the workout? What's your workout?" And he goes, "You know what I do every year? I do the Empire State Run, the Empire State Building run."
Oh, the stairs.
Yeah.
Right.
He runs
Yeah, I know what it is.
up the Empire State Building in 16 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So he must not be the back of the pack where you can't run fast because there's too many people in front of you.
Right. So he's going past people.
He's an
and-
elite stair passer.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm
Sure.
thinking to myself, I can probably do that. It's not that hard. So I'm on the 26th floor.
Okay.
In our building. I decide to go down, and I'm like, I told my wife. I was like,
down's the easy part, right?
going down is the. I said to my wife, I'm gonna go down the ground floor. I'm gonna run up 26 flights of stairs. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Or whatever I
Okay.
thought. I was
All
like,
right.
I'll be back in a few minutes. Cut to 5th floor.
Still
It's
going
me
down.
just like wheezing.
Going down
in
still?
No, I was going up.
Oh, so you went down.
I went down in the elevator.
Oh, you didn't even walk down?
No, because
Oh.
I wanted to do, because
That's still good. That's still good for your legs, and it's easier, but it's still good for your legs.
I just wanted to see if I could even get up. So I was like, go down in the elevator, go ground floor, start running up the stairs, floor 8. And I'm just in the stairwell. I'm like, I think I'm passing out. I think I'm blacking out. I was like literally afraid that I was going to have a heart attack.
There are so many moms around the New York City
I know who
area
do
right
that.
now who are shut up, you loser, you fat gyro-eating, pathetic waste of a man. You know what I carry up my walk-up floor?
Oh, yeah.
Groceries,
I know.
children,
I know. It's
strollers
true.
every
It's
day,
true.
5 times a day.
It's true.
You're sad. That's the moms talking, not
That's
me.
not you
Yeah,
talking,
yeah, I
right.
probably couldn't do it either.
It's true. I'm privileged. So what else? What else you want to talk
Speaking
about?
of privilege, it's not really privilege, but I saw you in a documentary
For what?
it was something about how The Simpsons is awful.
Oh, the Apu documentary. Yes.
And I wanted to talk to you about that.
I knew you were gonna. I thought you were gonna bring this up.
Really?
I was
Why?
like, I wonder what Jason wants to talk about, and I was like, I bet he wants to talk about the Apu documentary.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm saying, I bet
was like,
you
oh,
we had
there's
to talk about
Aasif.
it.
I mean, they literally rounded up every Indian
actor, yeah.
who they could think of who
Yeah.
was slightly famous.
Sure,
let's face
yeah.
it, there's not that many.
Well, there's not a lot of white people who are offended by Apu.
There are none. I don't think there are
Right.
any.
So
Yeah.
I think it was smart for him to get people who are actually like affected by that.
He didn't get any Bollywood stars, right?
No, because they weren't watching The Simpsons.
The Simpsons place over there. It's huge.
Yeah, but I think
it's huge.
But in India, you know how big India is? You've been to India.
I have been to India. Yeah, I
It's
love
like
it there.
1 billion people there.
Yeah.
If The Simpsons plays there, and I'm not sure it does, but if it does,
It does. I saw it
for
there.
100%.
I saw it there dubbed into
Even
Hindi.
if let's say even 1 million people are watching The Simpsons in India,
Yep.
nothing. There's nothing.
But what if they? Maybe all of those people love it, and
Maybe they
guess
do,
who their
but
favorite
they're-
part is?
Right, but I'm saying is that like it's not.
They're like, "There's Apu.
Right.
He's our favorite."
But the whole point of that documentary was it was about being Indian in America, not being Indian in India.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
You
points.
understand.
I understand
All
points. But I was interested to hear what Cal Penn said, which was he hates the character, and that's whatever. It's your opinion. That's fine. And,
Right.
And I see how that is annoying with morons who are reciting. Yeah, I get all that. But to hate the show because of that is that's
You felt like that was
that seems like one step too far.
Right.
I mean, so I was asking. I don't think they asked you that. So I was wondering.
No,
do
I didn't
you,
hate- I
Do
didn't
you
hate-
hate the show because of that character?
No, I actually like The Simpsons.
Right.
I'm slightly in a different thing because I also grew up in England, and so I didn't grow up with The Simpsons
Right.
as a child. Like I came
Well,
to The Simpsons.
you were a full adult when let's face it, you're old. So
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, you were.
I was like 48 years
yeah,
old
you
by
were
the time
48 when they were on the Tracy Ullman
right,
show.
exactly, in like the
As
80s.
crude drawings.
So I
I just lost you more points. They're like, we can't cast him. He's
cast him. He's like,
104.
doesn't matter how many Twitter followers he has. So I didn't discover The Simpsons until I got to America in the 80s.
Right.
And then
Well, it didn't
no,
start
it didn't
till
start until the
89.
90s.
No, it started 89.
So like I discovered it when it, sort of
sure.
started. But by that time I was so beaten down with racism that
Right.
like I didn't even recognize
Right.
the. Initially, I think it was much more for someone like Hari's generation or even Cal's generation, where they were like in junior high,
Right.
or where they were getting called Apu, and that was the only thing. You know what I mean? Like I was a grown adult, and I understand it on a sociological or cultural level or racist level. You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't actually get called Apu. I was getting called
much worse.
Gunga Din.
Much worse. Yes, sure.
In the 40s,
Right.
when, right after partition. That's
Right.
when I was getting the
Sure.
shit kicked out of me.
Yeah. Is he a racist stereotype, or is it the people who quote him and throw it back at Indian Americans? Are they the racists?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I think that part of the issue is that, which gets talked about in the documentary and whatever, like is that he was the only, for a long time, he was, in America at least, he was
Yeah.
the only representation
Right.
of.
There wasn't any
So
wacky Indian
there was
neighbor.
no Cal Penn.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
No, I
Like,
know.
so I think that probably because of the reductiveness of that, there wasn't like, that smart South Asian action hero character that
Right.
also existed,
Right.
that you could point to. So I think probably a lot of people growing up in the 90s and when The Simpsons probably experienced that sort of reductive kind of like every Indian is Apu. I think the other issue was that it was a white guy
doing the voice.
Right. And I think Hari said it best when he said Hank Azaria is doing the accent of an Indian guy that if he did to me at a party, I would punch him in the face.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so I think that element of it probably felt it was problematic,
Right.
you know?
Right. I mean, it was interesting to hear Kal Penn say, and I don't want to dwell on this too long.
Too late.
But as I've got a show to promote, Detour, January 23rd. To hear him say that he thought it was just abhorrent and
Right.
racist, and then they cut to his first character that he played in Van Wilder,
Right, who was like this-
His name was Taj Mahal.
Right, exactly.
You're like
Right.
You were part of that. You were part.
But
here's
the
I
thing.
get it. Like you can't say no. You want to be an
Right.
actor. I get it. And
know.
you have that great story,
of the
which I don't know if you
internship.
want to tell, but it's pretty great.
Well, now that you set me up, I don't know if you want to tell that great story.
That great story that everyone will love.
No, about when I got cast in the internship.
Yes.
Which is available on streaming and HBO. And
Yes. This is
everywhere.
Vince Vaughn,
Vince
Owen
Vaughn,
Wilson.
Owen
joint.
Wilson, and they asked if I would. Well, there's
You-
slightly different version of the story that you might have heard, which is not entirely true.
Oh. Okay. So it's becoming less great then, because
well,
I've heard a sensationalized version.
I know
of the
you.
story.
I think you've heard like that sort of like 5 people have told the story, and then
Right.
like you're now like
The story I heard. Well, maybe I'll tell the story. Maybe I'll tell the story because my story is going to be better.
Okay, then
was that the person I was with was seated next to you when they were offering you the part, and
right.
you were on the phone and saying, "No way, I'm not doing the accent.
Right, I'm not-
If I'm playing the head of or one of the."
Right,
not the head of Google.
the head of
but-
Google. Yeah.
But a very influential person
Right,
at Google.
right.
I'm like, he's American raised. He's not. He lives in Silicon Valley. He's not. I'm not doing this fucking Indian accent.
And then cut to
the trailer.
Welcome to
Hello,
Google. Yeah, right.
Welcome to Google.
Right, so that's partly true.
There's no
Because
way.
what-
I'm dying on this sword. Welcome to Google. Got the head shake and everything.
that is you've just encapsulated the experience of being a brown actor in Hollywood.
Right.
Which is that like you start with no way. I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to like sell my people down the road. I'm not doing the accent. I'm not doing
Right.
it. Then they're like,
Okay, we'll get the
Could
other
you-
guy who does the accent.
right. Well, there's that. There's first part, which is like, we'll get somebody who, and we'll pay them a lot of money to
Right.
do this. And then there's the other part, which is like, can we just try it one with the accent? Maybe just try, like just let's just hear
see.
it. Let's just hear
see.
it with the accent. And then what you do is that you say, all right, and then this is what I did, and this is the part of the story that doesn't get told, which is like that I said to them, okay, look, if they're insisting on the accent, because they were kind of like, we think we want to, they were like, yeah, of course, let's do it both ways. We'll see how, when you get in the room with the director, you'll play around with it, And I said, if they want an accent of any kind, I'm going to do an accent that I feel is authentic, because people do have Indian accents
Of
in
course.
the world. And I was like, I'm going to do an accent.
Many different
I'm
dialects
not
in
gonna do,
India.
and I actually even said at the time, I was like, I'm not going to do Apu.
Right.
I'm not going to be Apu. And I remember saying to them, I'm going to do the accent that Fareed Zakaria has.
Right.
You know that accent? That's it. And they were like, that's great. That's terrific. You should
Yes.
totally, that's exactly what we want. So I do that accent. Sean Levy was fine with it. He was
Right.
totally great. He didn't even know about this conversation. Like, he was just like, well, fine, whatever.
Right.
Cut to the studio calls, and they're like, hey, they love you. We really think you're great in this. They want to hire a dialect coach for you. And I'm literally on the phone.
Your Indian accent's a little off.
Talking to a producer, and my manager's on the phone with me, and he's saying to me how they want to hire a dialect coach for me to do an Indian accent. And I was like, I'm Indian, right? And they're like, no, of course. We just thought.
Listen, we trust you, but there's this great white guy
Right.
who does,
Right.
he does this sound, and we're not hearing that from
exactly,
you. And
exactly. So
we just wanted a little more like that.
Right. It was one of those situations where I realized, like, oh, there's a bunch of people coming in there who are doing the Apu accent,
Right.
and that's what they want. But you know what? I stood firm and I said, no dialect coach for me.
Right.
I will not. And they backed off. They were like, we understand. Like I think they felt incredibly embarrassed about it. Like that they even brought it up.
Right.
And then I went and did whatever accent I wanted to do, which was a little bit more of a sort of educated Indian guy, not the, Apu guy. But it did start initially where it always starts, which is, I'm not doing the accent.
Right.
And then you cut
As
to.
you say, cut to the trailer.
Right, exactly.
Here's what I think. Let me solve the problem for Indian actors.
Wow.
Here's what you need.
Oh, here's
what you need.
Everybody should be tuning in
to
for this.
get away from playing cabbies. What else do you play? Doctors.
By the way, this is not the first time that a white guy has tried to solve the problems for ethnic minorities. So let's go.
I'm brown-splaining. Okay.
Right, great.
Here's what you guys need. You need an Indian action star.
Yeah, that's true.
And it takes you away. Then you're like, oh, America goes,
an Indian action.
Oh, they can be cool.
Right.
They can they can do the things that other people
And this is
can
why
do.
I'm trying to get, that brings me back to why I'm getting my Twitter followers up.
You want to be an Indian
I
action
want to
star?
be an Indian action star.
The guy who can't get up 5 floors?
But it's Hollywood. You make it up. You make it up.
Sure.
It's just
No,
like,
there's a guy, I don't know if you, there's a movie called Singham. Do you know that?
No.
It's
You're watching Bollywood movies now?
I love Bollywood movies.
Do you really?
I adore Bollywood movies.
I would not have pegged you for
So
that.
when I flew to India, it was pretty much all Bollywood movies on the plane.
Sure.
And I started watching these action movies. I went, these are great. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
Because they're ludicrous. They don't take themselves
Did they have
seriously.
subtitles?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, so you
Not
could
that it matters.
Well, but you could at least
No, it's because it's an action movie.
Right.
But there's this movie called Singham, and he's awesome. He's super cool. He's a local sheriff, and it's literally bad guys come into town. And he goes,
and he beats
I'm
everyone
gonna
up.
kick your ass.
Yeah.
There's this great scene. You should Google it if anyone's watching or listening. Google Singham pier scene.
All right.
And watch this scene. It's so awesome. He just beats the hell out of like 10 bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then after he's beaten them all in this ludicrous amounts of violence, and then he takes his belt off and he whips them all to punish them more. Because they said something. Because they said something bad to his girl.
Right. Of course. But
that's what you need. That's what you need. You need a super cool,
Indian
super
action
awesome
star.
Indian action star to break through in the mainstream.
Yeah.
And then I think it will not be cab drivers and doctors for you anymore. There you go. Jason Jones
solves the problem.
brown casting.
Just not, and I so appreciate it as a brown
Thanks, man.
person.
Thank
that
you.
You
Hey.
explained that to us.
Hey,
This actually has been thought of. This has not been the first time. You didn't come up with that. I'm just saying.
I don't come up with anything. I'm
Oh,
just
all right.
repeating stuff other people say.
This is what you read on the internet. This is how to solve the problem. No, I think it's a good idea. You maybe. That's a movie that I think I would go see that movie.
Yeah.
Would you go see that movie?
Of course I would. If it's a cool, funny movie. And that's what I love about Bollywood movies. They just don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah.
They're so much fun
Action
to watch.
scenes in Bollywood movies are the best.
They're
because
really great.
People will do things. Indiana Jones never lost his hat. So that was, like one of those things where you're like, unbelievable, right? But in
Well, not
Bollywood
really.
movies, they even take it a step further.
I buy that it can stay on his head.
Not when he's jumping out of an airplane.
Why not? He holds on to it. And also, it's really tight. Moving on.
Wow, another thing that you just solved.
I didn't solve anything.
I think a lot of
it just
people
stays on his head.
I think a lot of people over the years
Think
have
it's
wondered
foolish?
how Indiana Jones' hat stays on his head when he
Or
jumps out of
how
an
come it
airplane.
rolls back to him after it does fall
Right,
off?
it's true.
It's called wind.
But in Bollywood movies, the guy will just jump over a train, and
Yes.
you won't even
Yes.
question it. Like
No.
it'll just be like a moving train. He will
Which
just
is
jump
awesome.
over it.
Which is awesome.
Right.
Action movies are stupid. So why not embrace the stupidity? That's how you solve action movies.
That's that.
Not that they need solving. It's
Yeah,
the only movie
I didn't know
people
this was
see.
going to turn into Jason Jones solves things.
Jason Jones solves
Solves
everything.
everything.
What else do you need me to solve? Tell me. Give me
There's
another thing. I'll solve it.
But now I'm kind of excited about this Western Bollywood action movie that you're pitching out.
I didn't say Western.
No, I'm not Western like Wild West. I mean like for
Western
American audiences.
American. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like an English speaking Bollywood movie
Yeah.
essentially.
You need one of those guys to step up. Are you going to be it?
I'm gonna be it.
Well,
I'm gonna be that guy.
Get in shape, man.
I'm
'Cause I'm not
get my
casting you right now.
3-pack.
I'm not casting you on your.
Wait, now you're casting the
your
movie?
5-floor word.
You're casting it now.
Yes, I told you I solve everything.
You saw it. You're like,
Yeah.
okay. Are you going to write it?
No, I can't write it.
You can,
An Indian has to write it.
An Indian person has to write it,
Yes.
and then you decide who gets to be in it.
No, I'm just solving it like God does, okay?
I see.
I'm solving all the problems.
This is like,
I'm God in this scenario. What don't you get about that?
wow.
Yes.
That's. I think a lot of people have said that recently.
I'm God.
I'm God.
Listen up.
Look
I'm
at my
solving
penis.
problems. I've never said that, thankfully.
Oh, my
Because
God.
you know what? Mine's too ugly to look at. It's just, why would I say that? Look at this ugly, misshapen thing.
But talking to your penis,
Yes. Talking about my penis?
talking about
Yes.
and of your penis.
Are we going to this topic?
I don't know. Do you want to?
Yeah, if you want,
Well,
sure,
you made me
sure.
talk about the other thing. Like, do you want to talk about this great story about like how you took out your penis in an interview for the Daily Show?
Oh, right. I totally forgot about that. I did do that.
Yeah,
I
but it was on camera, and it was
It was on camera. Yes, it was on camera. We never used it because I was expecting a much bigger reation, but they were in front of doctors.
nonplussed.
It was in front of doctors. Yeah, I took out my balls. I didn't throw my dick. I threw out my balls, and there was
because it was about the whole. Just to give context, it was about.
Yes, there's always context.
I think that's what everybody says. Like, just to give context.
Yes.
It was about testicular cancer or something.
No,
wasn't
it was about cancer. It was about this place in Montana that was a Superfund site.
Yeah.
And it was causing cancer. But then these two doctors had found a microbe in the water in the Superfund site that could possibly cure cancer. So it was the cause-all and cure-all of cancer, this pit. And I said, hey, I went swimming in there, and I got something growing right here.
And you pulled it out.
I pulled out
and
my...
You pulled out the testes.
Yeah, and I was expecting them to go, oh, God, something.
put that away, and they didn't. They just looked at it.
They just both leaned forward,
Oh,
like
God,
genuinely concerned that I had a growth on my testicle.
Wow.
They were
And
like,
that kills the comedy right there.
Yeah, I don't think there was much comedy in that. It was meant to shock and didn't do anything. But you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
That was a.
If I did that now,
that was a high bar that you set, or the high-low bar.
a high-low bar. Yeah,
A high-low bar
I
that
got
you
a lot
set.
of those. I
Yeah.
set a lot of high-low bars.
And it was something that the rest of us, I think, always felt like we needed to, get to that level.
But then I
where-
did finally get a vasectomy on camera. So that was.
Did you really?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Wait, when was that?
It was like after
Was
I had
that
my
part of
third
the
kid.
piece?
Yeah, yeah.
Which piece?
It was a piece about how it was a human interest story about how there was a disease plaguing my life called children.
Oh.
So I was waking up in the middle of the night with sweats.
And then you really
not
did
getting
get a
enough sleep.
vasectomy.
And then so the doctor said, I think you have children. And the cure for that is to get a vasectomy.
Wow.
Or put on a condom. And I said, nope, I'm not a condom guy. Cut me open. So, and I had already planned, the whole piece was, I was
You'd
getting
already
a
done
vasectomy
it.
anyway,
Clearly,
yeah.
you didn't just decide to do that in the moment.
And we did this really fun montage of me with my balls,
Nice.
like remembering them and all the fun times we had together.
Your balls made a lot of appearances on the Daily Show.
And then it circled back, and then it cut out of the dream sequence. It was just the vast deference was hanging out of my testicles, my scrotum, and it was just snip. It was so revolting.
Wow.
And shocking. But more guys have come up to me
About
that piece than any other piece I've ever done and said, thank you, you gave me the courage to go do it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Because they saw that like it wasn't that it wasn't that
That it wasn't that big of a thing.
painful.
It was
or-
it wasn't that big of a thing. It was a 20-minute procedure.
Right.
Where you just go blip, tie, boom, done.
Do you feel like it's easier now that your kids are older?
What?
Like having kids.
Oh,
Having kids. Sorry, I jumped
You've
in.
lost your interview skills.
Yeah, I know, I really have.
we were talking about my balls.
I know, we're talking about my
Hey,
balls.
speaking of your balls, how your kids doing?
That's because I'm married now,
Yes.
and like that's the.
Are you having kids?
We're
thinking about
in
it?
that stage where we are.
Get on it, man.
I know.
You don't have much time
believe
left.
me, I should be
on
doing
Earth.
it right now. I'm like, once I leave here,
You're gonna go.
I'm gonna go and have sex with my wife.
That's good. Does she know that?
Nope, she rarely knows.
You can't make that joke nowadays. You can't make
Well,
that
it's my
joke,
wife.
Gus. It
It's my-
doesn't
Can
matter.
you make it with if it's your wife?
No.
You can't.
No. Hashtag me too.
Oh.
I'm with you, girls. I'm with you.
No, so
We're bringing Aasif down.
We're in so that's where my head is. You know, like I'm like, oh, I'm having that thing of gulp. We're about to do that.
With kids?
With kids.
What's gulping about it?
You know, when you waited this long, to,
I guess so.
You know, you
guess.
had him when you were in your 20s.
I was early. What was I? 31 or 32? Early. I had them early.
Right. Okay.
I mean, that's late for the rest of the country.
So it is,
It's
it is.
really early for New York. You know, my daughter's 11. She's in middle school, and all the other parents are so much older than me.
Oh, they are?
So much older, yeah. I'm the young guy there.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. But go anywhere else in the country, and
you're the old guy. You're
yeah.
the old guy.
Yeah.
So your daughter's 11. The next one is
9.
9.
And then the youngest is 7. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of kids, man.
And so now do you feel, like I was saying, is life easier now in terms of like being a father or parent?
Is life easier?
In terms of like
No.
raising children.
Life
like,
is different. Life changes. The second you leave the hospital, life changes.
It's all new.
It's just
it's a
changes.
new world.
You're like, now I'm responsible for this little thing.
Right.
That I have to take everywhere.
Right.
Constantly. And always have to just protect and feed and clothe and change.
yeah, yeah.
And then deal later on with emotions and heartbreak and,
God.
and pain. It's just, your life changes.
Maybe
It's not about you anymore. Your life is not about you. It's about these people that you've created.
Maybe I won't be having sex with my wife right after this interview.
I mean, it is, it's a life choice
No,
to
it
have,
is.
and it is a life choice to
And-
not.
and when you- look,
I don't
when-
judge either people, but
No, I know.
you know, if you don't have kids, you're selfish. Whatever.
What else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Do we have time to talk about? Oh yeah, we got lots of time.
How are we
yeah.
doing on time?
We're doing good.
We're good.
All right.
Like lots more to talk about.
I solved,
lots more. What else are you going to solve?
I solved issues for
brown people?
Well, I only solved them for Indians. Sorry.
Wait, what do you mean?
Just for Indian actors.
Oh, just for Indian
I
actors, not for
solved-
Indians in general.
No, just Indian actors in America.
Right.
It's a very small problem I solved. But what else do I need to solve?
But no, but that would be a problem that would be if there was an Indian, like let's say an Indian American superhero.
Yeah. Your wife is very attractive.
Oh wow, that just came out of
No,
that
I was
not-
going back to that. I was going to circle
whoa,
back.
Whoa.
Your wife is very attractive.
She is very attractive.
If you were to impregnate her with
we would have attractive children.
you would have attractive children if she got most of her genes.
Right. That's what I was just about to
That
say.
young seedling
Yeah.
could become America's next biggest action star. Just saying. You could go back
That's
to
a
that
long.
selfish
That's
gene.
a long way though. That's
Not really, because you get on track by
of decades.
12, 13.
That's true.
And then they're playing that part by 22,
Although you know my
which is about when America will be ready for,
but
for an Indian action star.
Right. But the problem is, I think that both my wife and I aren't necessarily the action hero, creators. She's kind of a nerd who likes to read books and
Right.
and sit in coffee shops and
Okay.
do crossword puzzles. She doesn't do crossword puzzles, but she.
So why did you say it?
I don't know. I was on a roll. No,
roll
but
of
she
eyes.
she reads the New Yorker and sits in a coffee shop and
Okay. Sure.
and sort of like Googles everything that ever comes up in conversation.
All right. So
she's not necessarily the person who is like going to be creating. She
I
might
didn't say
create
she
the
was
next.
gonna. I didn't say she was going to write it. She's going to birth it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we have the genes of an action star. We might have the
You
genes
can
of like
build
a,
the genes of
a
an
science
action. You can
nerd.
build the genes of an action star. That's called steroids.
Oh wow!
All right.
There you go.
It's
And
very
ladies and
easy.
gentlemen.
But you need obviously some looks, and I was just saying your
Yeah,
wife is very
she's
attractive.
attractive.
So
and
if she or
I have
he
sperm.
gets you do for a
we're
while. I
ready to
mean,
go.
you are getting
no,
old.
you know,
Sperm isn't good. It is not good. Stale. It's slow. It's,
My sperm is old, but it's enthusiastic. I feel
How do
like
you
it
know?
has a lot
I feel
of
like that's the
No,
worst
'cause
claim
that's
that
what
guys make.
That's
My
what,
sperm's better than anybody's. It swims fast and hard.
I don't think.
No, you
I don't.
don't.
Let me be
don't
clear.
know.
Let me be
What an
clear. I
odd
did not
claim.
say. I did not say my sperm swims better than everybody else's. Are awesome. I just said my sperm has a lot of enthusiasm. That's all.
That's the same thing.
No. It aspires.
know?
My sperm
How
is.
do you know?
My sperm aspires.
Do you look at it under a microscope after you ejaculate?
We're Indian.
Listen.
So
See, that's racist.
it
That's
is racist, but I can make that joke.
You can make that
I
joke.
can make that joke.
How come I can't? Listen, as two white males in one room, okay?
That's okay.
I consider
All
myself
right,
two because I'm,
You,
such a big personality.
You are two white males.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's good. Because I suddenly went into a whole personal internal conflict of like my
Does he think I'm white?
desperately wanting to be a white male.
You pass off as white. It's fine.
I do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty.
Yeah, stay out of the sun. You'll be fine. Put on
Right.
a
There you go.
backless vest.
SPF 50.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I
Right.
totally buy you as a white guy.
I do too. That's what I keep telling my agents.
Yes, I'm white.
I'm
Why
white.
can't I
Why
play
do
white?
you send me in? Forget the internship. Forget that. Just erase that.
How
Forget
come
it.
I'm not Vince Vaughn in this movie? I should be Vince Vaughn. I play a
should
great
be
Owen Wilson.
Vince Vaughn, and you should be Owen Wilson. We can end on that. That we should be Vince Vaughn
We
and
should
Owen
be.
Wilson.
If anyone wants to write a movie about Vince Vaughn and
And
Owen Wilson, played
but
by
they can't
Aasif
get
Mandvi
those guys.
and
We'll do it.
Jason Jones, we will do it.
A hilarious and thought-provoking podcast to kick off your 2018.
What could be better? And in fact, honestly, what I think might be better is a movie with Jason Jones and Aasif Mandvi playing the roles designated, usually for Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. They are better. They are funnier. I want to see it.
Shots fired. Shots fired, baby.
I think it's necessary. We need a new world order. Comedically, obviously.
Listeners, we are also striving to make a new world order of great podcasts. Head over to iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. We have some fantastic stuff coming up, including the best of 2017.
It's going to be a bumper episode.
A bonanza,
A smorgasbord of audio delights.
including some previously unreleased tape. So make sure you hit that.
And if you really enjoyed this episode, you'll be delighted to hear that you can see a full
Unedited, people.
cut of this episode on YouTube at our page.
You can also check us out on all the other socials at Talkhouse on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for all kinds of behind-the-scenes content.
And go to talkhouse.com for daily written pieces that will just open your mind up to worlds that you haven't even conceived of. And of course, the Detour, January 23rd TBS. Go check that out. Shut Eye Season 2, now streaming on Hulu.
Do it. Today's talk was recorded and co-produced by Mark Yoshizumi.
Mark the producer, we love him.
Love him. I'm Elia Einhorn.
I'm Nick Dawson.
Till next week.
See you then.
Wait, we're not going to lose the Indian elephants, are we?
No, the Indian elephants are fine.
Okay.
Because they're investing in tech.
Do we? Robotic elephants. Is that what you're saying?
Boom! More Indian jokes.